From Lawndale High School, welcome to CityTV Sports and the game of the week. It's going to be a rivalry game. It should be called the Hoffman Cup because it's the Battle of Lawndale. Leuzinger's Olympians coming into the Cardinals' nest to take on the high-flying Cardinals, Rufus Washington, and what a game this is going to be.
Oh, it's going to be a great game. Leuzinger has shown they can put points on the board just as Lawndale has. It's going to be a matter of actually who can play defense tonight.
And also who can keep the ball, not drop it, and get penalties. And for the Leuzinger Olympians, they're going to have a new quarterback tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Malik Jackson stepping into a new role for the Olympians, and they're looking to get a win tonight. So we'll see what they can do here at the Cardinals' nest.
And we saw the Leuzinger Olympians play El Segundo and have a terrific game against them, kind of lost their wheels in the second half. And the Cardinals, this is our first chance to see them tonight.
Our first chance to see them, and they're coming off a huge victory against highly ranked and highly regarded Encino Crespi that they beat right here on their home field. A year ago, they went up to Crespi and took a licking, so they got to feel real good to have defeated a team like that and to be back at home again tonight.
And a quarterback for the Cardinals, Chris Murray, and Chris Brownlee is the official scorer tonight up in the press box. He's going to be watching Chris Murray real close.
Well, Chris Murray was a big reason why the Lawndale Cardinals came back. They were trailing at halftime against Crespi to beat Crespi. Chris Murray had a total of 296 yards, both throwing and rushing, and had 3 total touchdowns. He and Zach Cooper, along with him, who rushed for 100 yards and a touchdown, I think are going to be a recipe for another Leuzinger loss, unfortunately, here tonight.
All right, Rufus, and I think it's going to be who's going to control the offensive line. That's going to be the key to tonight's game.
I think you're exactly right. And the offensive line is important because both teams have good defensive players. Leuzinger, of course, has Samisi Lewaki, already a D1 commit, along with a couple other guys. So it's a short ride across town. It's a beautiful night. We're going to have some fun tonight right here at Lawndale High School.
That's right. Kickoff's right around the corner. Back here at Lawndale High School, high above the football field. And Rufus Washington, they're about ready to do the coin toss tonight. And who are our officials?
Well, the officials for tonight's contest, Mike Barnes is the referee. Working with Mike tonight are Wayman Wiley. Head linesman is Charles Sloan. Shaka Wade is on this crew, as we've seen in the past, along with Herb Thompson. So this is a crew. Actually, this is our second time for sure, if not third time, seeing this crew work this season.
Well, I know that we've had Chaka Wade all 3 times. So should be interesting tonight. Very good game, I'm anticipating. Both teams in their 3rd game.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, just a little truth in advertising. I would dispute if we're high above, but we're above the field. But now,
that's
seriously speaking, that's Mike Barnes right there, also a veteran basketball official as well, and an all-around great guy.
I was being a little facetious when I said high above. So Herb is explaining the rules right now, getting things ready, seeing if he's got a silver dollar or a quarter in his pocket.
Right, and he's making sure these guys know you take it as something, as a given. So Lawndale obviously declined. That was the indication by Mike Barnes. They won the toss, meaning they deferred to the second half, and Leuzinger will receive to start the game.
All right, Leuzinger wearing their road whites with the white helmet, and the Cardinals wearing their new black uniforms with the silver numerals and a silhouette red cardinal pinstriped on their black helmets. And it looks like some, well, no, those are the same helmets that the Olympians had before, but boy, that's looks like it's got that tricolor pearl white on there. That's
That sure
that's
does.
My favorite car color.
And one of the things you like to see, you know, talking about the uniforms, is that that's important. I mean, it helps the kids build their self-esteem, and they feel good about coming out. And we've known in years gone by, basics such as equipment, field conditions, etc., have not always been the best. But I got to say, the Centinela Valley School District and these respective high schools have invested in their programs, and it's showing out here in the appearance of the players and the condition of the field.
It'll be Andre Hunt and Samaj Daniels back to receive the kickoff for Leuzinger. And getting set to kick it off, looks like one of the linemen for Lawndale, Anderson Racinios. And he was the kicker last year, I believe. And we're just about ready to get underway as the sun sets to the west and the ball is kicked to the west. And it goes to Daniels. Daniels going to the far sideline and is tackled at about the 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Leuzinger at that point.
That's pretty good starting position for the Olympians.
So they're started at 11:54. And we'll see how Mr. Malik Jackson, the sophomore quarterback, debuts for the Olympians.
Nice stutter step move there by the return man before he's finally brought down, as you said, out near the 30.
Going to call it the 28. Jackson's going to be under center. Rolls out, passes, and is complete to the 40-yard. Ball pops up out of the air.
Wow.
And Lawndale says they have it, and they do.
And the official chalk away right on top of it, makes the call, indicates that it's going to be Lawndale ball on the turnover. Completion was made. Can't fault the quarterback on that, but as his receiver turned upfield, we're going to watch here on the replay. And there you see the hit. Can't see who that was put on by Lawndale. We'll see it in a moment. Looks like number 21.
Okay.
And that's Brian Perkinson. And Brian is one of Coach Brownlee's guys. Coach Brownlee has 3 guys, in case you don't know, fans. Coach Chris Brownlee is the head basketball coach, and he's got 3 key players on his football team that he's looking at with a special interest. Now the ball comes loose again, and looks like Lawndale recovered.
Well, it looks like they're still fighting over the ball, as it might have been a bad snap. It was. And Chris Murray pulled out just a little too soon. So it's still Lawndale ball. 2nd down and 10. There you see this, Chris Murray pulled out a little bit too soon. So the ball is at the 28-yard line. 2nd down, the ball is handed off to the running back. Gets out of a tackle, does Zach Cooper. And not a whole lot of running room. So the Leuzinger defense stacking up. Maybe a gain of about 2 yards, so it'll be 3rd down, and maybe a long 8. So here we go, big 3rd down for both teams, deep inside of Leuzinger territory after the interception, or the fumble recovery, I should say. Murray hands the ball off to Cooper and gets through the line and is finally tackled down. And that was Malcolm Jackson with the initial hit. And is that good enough for a 1st down or not?
Or looking to see, the indication seems to be the side judge. But they're showing it as a 4th and a very short, Lou. But I think they may take another look at this because there's some confusion. I'm seeing a 1st down indication over on this side of the field, but the mark is at 4th, and now the referee, Mike Barnes, tells them to move the chains. So that was a huge 3rd down play for Lawndale's offense. They convert a 3rd and 8 into a 1st down. Leuzinger defensively had an opportunity to make a stop and force a fourth down play. I suspect Lawndale would have gone for it, but at least they would have forced them in the fourth and downs.
So now time is called.
Well, we got a flag in the backfield. I think it's going to be delay a game.
No flag. He picks it up. Well, the clock had been running after that was down. So clock is running again. 5:20 now left to go in the first quarter. The ball is handed off again to Cooper. Bounces back outside. Leaps over a man out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Like right around the 14, we'll call it.
And that was Kayam Cooksey, number 11, making the stop for the Olympians. As you see Cooper coming right in the screen. Rolling tackle by Cooksey.
6-yard gain by Cooper. And it's 2nd down and 4. Chris Murray, the tall, lanky basketball forward, turns and hands it off to Cooper, and why not? Up the middle and rumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawndale.
That was about a 12-yard run by Cooper. Actually, they said it was on the 14, so we'll call it a 14-yard touchdown run for Cooper. Here again, you see the replay on CityTV. Man, he went through the line completely untouched, Lou.
That's right. Nice blocking up front to open the hole by the center and the right guard. Rosinho's coming on to tack on the extra point for Lawndale. Nicely done. So it's 7-0 with 5:08 left to go in the first quarter in favor of the Lawndale Cardinals. But Leuzinger, that came off of the turnover, off of the fumble recovery.
Exactly. Gave him a very short field inside the 40-yard line, actually more like the 35 where that drive started, I believe.
Yeah, they called it back at the 28 where the Leuzinger Olympians started. So a 28-yard drive.
But I think the important thing, as you said, Lou, is to note that that whole scoring opportunity and the short field was set up by the turnover.
That's right. And Zach Cooper was the man. A 14-yard run at the 5:08 mark. So Rosinho's getting ready to kick off the ball again. And it goes over to Daniels again. Daniels gets buried under a sea of black jerseys and gets up to about the 28-yard line again.
There you see him fielding the ball real cleanly as he starts to head upfield.
Actually, that's Dreyer. I'm sorry, D'Angelo Dreyer. So from the 28-yard line again, Malik Jackson again. This time he hands the ball up the middle, and the Cardinals are right there, and the ball came loose, but I think the call was blown dead before that.
And if it was, boy, that was a very quick whistle that blew it dead. Let's watch the replay.
It's Galera.
Okay, and they're saying his forward progress was stopped. And
so it's a -1. So it's 2nd down and 11 for Jackson and the Olympians. Back to pass on the play action, roll out again. The ball is caught, and caught from behind and buried is Tariq Culpepper, going back to his more natural position at wide receiver. Coach Porter told us before the game. Gains 5 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Well, the big thing in saying that, Lou, is the fact that Coach Damian Porter has entrusted his offense, he says, for the rest of the way to number 10, Malik Jackson, who's a sophomore, 6'1", 160 pounds.
There's about 3 Olympians that could do that, but this is more about the future than anything, I think. in talking to Porter, as that pass is a little short of Monteiro Wynn Jr. Also had a chance to meet first-year coach Travis Clark coming over from Samo High. Love his energy.
Right, high energy coach. And Coach Brownlee said to me when I asked him about him, I said, "You guys got a new coach?" He says, "Yeah, he's a lot more energetic than I am." You'll find that out as soon as you meet him.
I think we need to get him a little can of decaf, instant coffee or something. So 4th down, and it's punting time.
That's a good punt.
Beautiful punt. That goes out of bounds, as Zach Cooper was going to field that punt, but it's out of bounds in Lawndale territory, and they're going to mark it at about the 39-yard line, we'll call it. Now let's see. There's got to be 3:39 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And there's the punt going out of bounds. Actually, well, I guess they took off the geometric angle,
Right.
and gave it a Lawndale bounce back to the 39. So Tariq Culpepper is also the punter on this team. And now out of the eye, Chris Murray under center. Hands the ball off to Cooper, but Chaka Wade throws a flag.
Which means that there was movement along the line.
False start against Lawndale. So first penalty of the game goes to the Cardinals. It'll be 1st and 15. Back to the 34. Play fake to Cooper. Look out from behind. Murray's in trouble, and he tucks the ball away. Gets back the yardage he lost on the penalty and gains about 3 yards net. So it'll be 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. They're going to call it a 4-yard gain for Chris Murray.
And wisely got out of bounds. Chris Murray, one of the most prolific passers in the South Bay. And we haven't seen that on display yet, but rest assured, fans, we will.
So a 9-yard gain up to the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and a long 6. Out of the eye, Cooper gets it, runs into a wall, the linebacker first. Making first contact was Lauren Bowen. Met Lauren's mom tonight in the parking lot.
Okay.
Very sweet lady.
And one of the reasons we haven't seen yet Murray drop back and pass like we know he can is that one, they've got a great running back in Cooper, as we've already seen, and they're flexing their muscles both ways. Boy, you talk about a multi-dimensional offense. When you're able to run the ball and throw it effectively, that keeps defenses off balance, and that allows you to exercise a lot of ball control offense.
Out of the shotgun, Murray now, 3rd down and 3 after the 5-yard gain to Cooper. Back to pass, look out. He's being chased down, and
he was sacked on the play, and that was DeAnthony Jones. And this is DeAnthony's first week being able to dress out, and so he immediately makes his presence felt. I mean, and he chased him down, and Murray is not slow of foot, shall we say.
No, not at all.
Right.
You just saw DeAnthony chase him down. Wonder if Leuzinger's basketball coach is watching him.
Right. And there you see the pursuit, man.
He looks taller than, let's see, DeAnthony is listed at 6'3". So Murray back to punt and a timeout on the field.
Leuzinger takes the timeout. So we'll mark that down here still. In first quarter action, are we?
Yep, I think.
Well, the clock has thrown us a couple of curves.
Yeah, what is it, 5:56?
Well, that's what it looks like now. I must admit, I thought a couple minutes ago it was 3-something.
So did I. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just the talking head. What do I know?
Well, because we marked that first score at 5:08 of the first quarter, and so.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, Chris Brownlee is the official timekeeper, so.
Well, then there's your problem.
Never ask a coach to keep time because you know they'll add it on, right?
Right.
Chris Murray back to punt, so there's always a threat of a fake, but Culpepper lets it bounce. It takes a Lawndale down. It's way deep inside of Leuzinger territory where it's down there by Kayam Cooksley.
Okay,
Now we got something going on there. Lots of whistles. I don't see any yellow flags out there. Maybe they're wondering about the clock as well.
Well, we got to see number 99 for Lawndale. We know he's an offensive lineman. Boy, that's Joshua Dion. They just list him as a senior. They put no dimensions on him. They say you can look and see how big he is.
He's big.
All right.
His shoes could go condo.
And he's a D lineman, so he's a space eater, boy. He won't be running
Let's see
at his side, that's for sure.
He'll be lining up right in the middle.
Where he's at, he's the middle. But anyway, let's keep an eye on him. Let's watch Malik this time and see what he does on his second possession.
Wide receiver screen, and what a big play by the defense of Lawndale.
Wow. Man, that looks like it lost yardage.
Sure did. Back to about the 5-yard line, and that was number 21, Bryant Perkinson. So the drive started out at the 11. Now we're back to about the 5. So it was a completion. But it went back to the 5-yard line, so a loss of 6. Ball is actually marked at the 6, so 5 yards on the loss. The handoff goes to Galera. Gets to the line, but tackled right there by Jalen Walker.
And Galera is all reliable for this team. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago, one of the 2 leaders on this team, the other one being Samisi Lawaki. Number 6 plays mostly defense, a little bit of tight end for him. But when they need the tough yards, they know who to go to, and that's Adrian Galera.
So 7 yards on the play by Galera. So now it's 3rd down and a long 9. Back to passes Jackson, avoids a tackler. It's caught.
Whoa.
But a big hit by Lawndale after the catch by Hunt.
But the key is it's enough for the first down as it's out across the 20. Looks like it may even be across the 25.
About the 26, we'll call it. So it's a 14-yard catch by Hunt. Believe that's 5:03 left to go. Galera gets through the line, and look at him go to the 50-yard line.
Wow.
Avoids a man down to the 40, the 30, and he's going to be spun out of bounds, spun down there by Bryant Perkinson. BJ, but Adrian Galera with a huge run into Lawndale territory to the 24-yard line.
That was roughly a 50-yard run from the 25. The drive, that down started. Remember, we spotted it at the 25, and 25 and 26 is 51.
51, yep, you're right. So Adrian, you called him, all reliable.
Kind of big play that Leuzinger needed, rather.
So now Lawndale's defense comes up big with a sack on Jackson. And that was number 42.
Well, to say the least, it ruffled the Cardinals' feathers, if you will. If you will allow me that. Will you allow me that one?
You can, yes, you can. If I can say high above.
Right.
So the sack was by Toure. Back. A 5-yard loss. So back to the 29.
It's a good time, man. It's looking up
Yeah.
for, whoa. Okay, what do we got?
The intended receiver fell down.
And the reason that was no penalty, fans, as you're looking at it, and that's because the defender was actually in front of the receiver. We saw the receiver go down. Of course, your natural reaction is to think, oh, my goodness, the defender did something. But if we see it on the backside, you'll see where the defender.
He tripped on the line.
Yep, and, boy, that cost him. That was number 26 that went down.
Malcolm Jackson.
All righty.
He tripped on that chalk. Jackson split out to the far side. In the slot is Culpepper. Back to pass on the play fake as Jackson has to avoid the rush going to over the other side. Up in the air, just out of the hands. In and out for Culpepper, and he thinks he should have had it.
And that was a good-looking ball that time thrown by Malik Jackson.
That's 2 in a row he's thrown nice. Now we know why that Coach Porter likes this young sophomore.
Probably just a tad bit high for his receiver, but boy, right on the money.
Well, we're in 4th down territory at the 29-yard line, so it's 4th and 15. Nice breeze coming off Redondo Beach, keeping us cool tonight. Jackson's going to pass. Here comes the blitz down the middle. Has a man open.
I'm not sure his receiver never even put his hands up for the pass. Wow, I mean, it was there. It may have been overthrown, but, boy, you got to make an attempt at it, Lou. I mean, because you never know on the attempt the defender could do something.
Yeah, it was just over his head. So on downs at the 2:30 mark, Lawndale takes over at the 29-yard line. So there's an opportunity wasted by Leuzinger deep inside of territory after Adrian Galera's 51-yard scamper. They never went back to Adrian.
Nope.
So Murray will be under the center out of the eye. Cooper gets it. Can he break the tackles? Trying to, but finally gets buried underneath by Michael Carrera after a 2-yard gain. And you see Coop getting out of tackles and hanging on was one of the Olympians before Carrera could come and wrap him up. So Cooper has been the workhorse so far for Chris Murray and the Cardinals out of the shotgun. Murray on the quarterback draw. This is definitely quarterback's play, and he spun out of bounds after a nice play by Bowen.
And well, we've not had a chance yet on the Leuzinger defensive side of the ball to even mention number 6, Amizi Lewaki's name tonight, and he's the anchor of that defense. Of course, he's playing over on the left side of the line, and they're running opposite him.
So a 5-yard gain on the run by Murray. So yeah, that's smart. You want to run on the other side of that guy. Alberto Perez is the left tackle. And a timeout called by Lawndale. With 1:54 left to go in the first quarter.
In the quarter.
I believe.
Right.
Somebody's quarter.
I would just say the quarter.
The quarter.
We don't know which quarter it is. But you're right. I'm with you. I do think it's the first. But I've never seen a quarter have 2 5-minute marks.
We should do a telethon for all of our schools to buy light bulbs.
Right.
We got new buildings, but no light bulbs.
Right.
So a timeout by Lawndale, and new head coach Travis Clark really would like to get this first down and continue on into the end zone, I'm sure. But Leuzinger, this is a big opportunity then for a big stop after a missed opportunity down in this end. So here we go. Murray will be under center. Everybody's up in the box except for the safeties for Leuzinger. Cooper, no, it's not Cooper, and there's a first down run, and that was B.J. Perkinson.
And they made it look easy.
Sure did. Gets across the 40 to the 43. Not a bad backup, B.J. Perkinson, huh?
Not at all. And as I mentioned before, he's one of 3 Lawndale football players on this team. Of course, Murray is the other one, along with, man, they got a big 6'7" guy. I'm going to get you his name in just a moment. He's a defensive end that plays for them.
BJ again slides through the line, and he's off to the races. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Lawndale. A 56-yard run by B.J. Perkinson, and that makes it 13-0. Handoff straight up the middle. Terrific blocking right there by old number 77. That's Steven Almada. And Bowen just couldn't catch up with BJ. Reseños tacks on the extra point. 1:25 left to go in the first quarter. 14-0 Cardinals. Let's go down to Karen.
Lou Rufus, in that last timeout that he took, Coach Clark took a minute to tell his guys to regroup, told him to tuck the ball in and make sure it's secure and not to give Leuzinger a chance to take that ball away from them, and it paid off right now. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Karen, and boy, they sure did. The blocking on those last 2 plays, Rufus, was phenomenal.
It certainly was, and as I said, we've not even begun to see the passing attack yet because the running game has been so effective. Man, they've got a couple of guys already. I mean, this team is, and I know it's only been a quarter, Lou, but looking at this team, and that was one of the things that I talked with one of the Lawndale coaches about, because, you know, they lost to South in their first game, 33-21. And what he told me was, hey, we should have beat those guys. It's as simple as that.
Right.
And after seeing them for 1 quarter, I think they could make a pretty good argument.
That was a 1-minute drive, 4 plays, took 71 yards, capped off by the 56-yard run by B.J. Perkinson. Reseño getting ready to kick it off and kicks it down the middle, kicks it to the right side. It's a short man picking it up.
Got to turn it up at some point.
Good coverage by the Lawndale Cardinals, Daniel Carmichael, with the reception in front of Andre Hunt. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
As we watch the replay, Lou, you can see Carmichael running laterally, decides to turn it up, but by that time, the defense had recovered and was able to bring him down.
So Jackson trying to get things going for the Olympians. Hands the ball off to Galera. Galera pushes forward, still on his feet, and gets close to a first down, but not quite to the 35-yard line. We'll give him to the 44-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 1. See the replay, took a nice hit and rolled off of it.
And I think, as you mentioned the last time, one of the things that we see Galera in the background that they didn't do is to have Galera handle the ball more. And it looks like this drive they're doing as they give it to him again.
But a good tackle by Jalen Walker. Coming up, sneaking in. But still, it's a first down after the 2-yard run. Isn't Walker on one of the basketball players?
I believe so. We'll certainly know in a couple of months for sure.
So it's first down. 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Under center is Jackson. Going to hand it off to Galera again. Galera slips through.
Wow.
And he gets a first down inside of Lawndale territory, down to the 42-yard line with 11 seconds and change left.
And they're going to run the clock, and that should be the last play of the first quarter.
Yep, they're not in any hurry to get this play off. And that ends the first quarter of play. 14-0 Lawndale. Leuzinger on the move. Let's go down to Egidio.
Well, guys, Coach Clark's Lawndale Cardinals have a comfortable 14-0 lead. And if you want to know a little bit about the brand new coach of the Lawndale Cardinals, Coach Clark, he's an alumni at Santa Monica High School, and he's coached for over 26 years. Spent the last 6 years as the head coach of the Santa Monica Vikings. If you guys remember that memorable game here at the Cardinals Nest last year against the Lawndale Cardinals, that Hail Mary as the time expired. Now he switched over to the good side, to the Lawndale side. He also played collegiate football at Utah State. He was a safety over there, so a lot of experience, football experience is brought over when Coach Clark signed with the Lawndale Cardinals. And a lot of people were surprised about that move, leaving a winning program to come over here. He said, I needed a change. I think this team I can do a lot of good things with. I can put my own hand and my own trademark on this Cardinals team, and he's doing so good so far. Beat Crespi last week in a big upset win, and now has a comfortable lead over the rival Leuzinger. Rufus, back to you.
All right, Egidio, thank you very much. And there he is, Travis Clark and Utah State. So from the shores of Santa Monica to the mountains and cold and snow of Utah State.
Home of the Aggies, right?
Yep. Lots of kids from this area go there to play football and basketball. A good Big West school. Ball is on the ground, and let's see who came up with it. A bad snap again. Lawndale says they came up with it, and yes, they do.
Wow.
Ball was recovered by number 7, and that's Eric Willis. So that's a second fumble lost by Leuzinger.
And boy, that comes on the first play of the second quarter, 1st and 10. You're in pretty decent field position, and you fumble the ball.
So the ball is at the Lawndale 41 now. Second fumble lost. We'll keep track of that one. Lawndale got their first touchdown courtesy of a fumble lost. And here comes Cooper. He gets lost in the defensive backfield before he's banged down by Bowen and also Malcolm Jackson.
And that's a 20-yard pickup for Cooper on that play.
There you see him there. Looked like his knee was down there.
Well, not quite, but boy, I got to tell you, if he hadn't stumbled there, he had a lot of real estate in front of him.
1st and 10 at the Leuzinger 40-yard line. Most of the second quarter left to go out of the eye. Here comes Cooper again and has to bounce back and caught behind the line and not let go by David Phillips. There's no way he was going to get out of that.
Big play for the Leuzinger defense on that one, and they certainly needed it, boy, because they were starting to get pushed around just a little bit.
So a loss of 2 on the play. David Phillips and a host of Olympian friends. So it'll be 2nd down and 12, we'll call it.
And now with Lawndale going from a left to right, we get a chance to get a good look at Lewacki because he's over the Leuzinger defensive lineman because he's on this side of the field.
But B.J. Perkinson says, I'm going the other way, Rufus.
Exactly.
And Galera is the one who catches up with him, but not before another first down inside the 30-yard line. Call it 26.
So it's obvious that they scouted this Leuzinger football team pretty good because they know to go opposite of where Milwaukee is. And you're right, that time, I mean, they just clearly, I mean, they don't even masquerade it. I mean, they just go the other way.
Out of the eye, Murray under center, back to pass, wide receiver screen, caught. A little bit of running room, but a nice open field tackle and a finish by Adrian Galera. The initial hit was made by D'Angelo Dyer.
Ball came loose, but they say it was already down, so possession remains with the Cardinals.
And on the play, it was, we'll call it a 7-yard gain. So it'll be second down. Should be third down, shouldn't it?
Well, it's going to be third as soon as, well, I thought they were going to change it. It looked like the referee, Mike Barnes, was signaling that it was third down. But the side marker still has it as a second.
That's Murray's first completion of the day. Cooper gets it, has some running room, turns the corner, going towards the end zone, but you have a flag. He's in the end zone, but let's see what the flag is. Or is he in the end zone?
Well, they give the touchdown indication, but as you say, there was a flag over on the far side. Holding is the indication against the Cardinals, so it's going to come back.
And the ball was marked at the 22-yard line. Let's see where the hold is, right there.
And boy, that was number 2. That was Jalen Walker with the hold.
On Talik Cooper. So the ball goes back to the 16-yard line. Still think it should be third down.
Now we've got an official timeout as they want to sort things out. The referee, Mike Barnes.
They're doing a measurement to see if the penalty still gives them a first down. Okay, they're still calling it second down.
And if that's the case, well,
looks like just the, oh, they do give it to him by the length of almost the length of a football, still a first down.
So that apparently is a spot of the foul penalty, and
Right.
then you back them up the penalty yardage, which is 10 yards from the spot. And even with all of that, the result of the play was a first down. You don't often see you pick up a first down when the penalty's against you.
So the ball's marked at the 18. So a net run for Cooper. We'll call it 6. Murray back to pass on the play action over the middle. It's caught inside the 10-yard line. Ball was caught by Brandon Ephraim. Ephraim down to the 5. So 13-yard gain.
And Lou, I finally figured it out on the scoreboard. That what we thought was a 5 is a 9.
Oh, okay.
Goes back
Yeah,
to the bulbs.
That makes sense. We're going to have that bulb drive.
So that early score in the first quarter actually was at the 9:08 mark that we thought was the 5:08
That's
mark.
right. Handoff straight up the middle. Big hole for Cooper into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawndale. Coop's second touchdown of the night.
And at the 8:47 mark it is. 5-yard run for Cooper.
Galera on to tack on the, or excuse me, Reseños. Tacks on the extra point. It's 21-0 in favor of Lawndale. 8:47, not 6:47, left to go in the half.
And again, that score also set up by a Leuzinger fumble.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
They fumbled the ball at the 41-yard line of Lawndale, and Lawndale marched it up the field, 59 yards.
Yep.
So you've got 14 points out of the 21 that were set up clearly by Leuzinger turnovers.
So a 3-minute drive, 59 yards, 7 plays, capped off by Coop's 5-yard run. There you see Chris Murray and Jalen Walker.
And
Second TD of the night for Cooper.
And Murray's a competitive athlete, and he's got to be thinking, man, you guys are killing my stats, man. You know, I was the leading passer in the South Bay last year. Yeah. But now he's got 2 very good running backs where he's not getting much of an opportunity to, or out of need to even throw the ball.
Reseños kicks the ball off, picked up by Dyer. Dyer gets up to about the 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Actually, that was number 1, Lionel Smith, this time on the near side. So right at the 35-yard line for Malik Jackson. And just head right up the middle and get as much as you can.
Get as much as you can, and that was a good run to bring him out to the 35-yard line.
Jesse Vieira with the tackle. So 8:40, I believe, left to go in the second. 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Jackson out of the shotgun. Hands it off to Adrian Galera. Hits the line, looking for a hole. Burrows his way to the 34-yard line. Or check that, 39-yard line. Where it'll be 1st and 10. There's your old friend number 99 there. That's why you can't open a hole. Because he gets on the top of the dog pile.
And Galera, a good-looking running back in his own right.
He sure is. It's the Coop and Adrian show. And we got a whistle. Somebody moved, somebody offside. We'll find out. Somebody moved on Leuzinger. So that'll go back 5, so it should be 2nd down and 11. Back to the 34-yard line. They call it the 35. Okay.
One thing this crew is doing is keeping the clock moving, that's for sure.
One back, and that's Adrian Galera. Draw play, gets lifted up and put down. Believe that was DeJuan Ballard. And let's go to Karen. Okay, let's hear the replay. Sorry about that. Well, that was actually number 9. That was by Emmanuel.
We'll update you on how Kiam's doing in just a second. But first, an update on Dion Joshua. He's a lineman, and he came out the last time on the field. He hyperextended his middle finger. Now, it sounds like a small injury, but he's been back and forth to the trainer a few times and had it wrapped and re-wrapped. So we're going to have to see if that affects the game. Guys, back to you.
Oh, my goodness, what a hit.
Now.
And that was on Tariq Culpepper. And I believe the hit was made by number 5 across the field. Don't have a name on him. Maybe somebody can find out, but watch this hit.
Well, he definitely unloosed the ball from the receiver.
Sure did. Now Tariq has to shake the cobwebs out to get the butterflies from his eyes, because he's got to punt the ball away on 4th down and 9. Cooper back to receive it at about his 30-yard line. Nice kick. Caught and beautiful tackle.
Great open. That was Lionel Smith.
Yeah.
That was Lionel Smith, the little train.
The little train that could.
There you go.
nice catch by Coop, because if there are any leftovers, Lionel is going to eat them up.
There you go. Nice open field tackle by him. Everything legit. No halo issue or anything.
So is that 6 or 8:52 left?
That's 6:52.
Okay. I'm going to blame it on you if it's not.
All right. Because by my count, the touchdown was at 8:47.
That's right. Okay, so we've got 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. For Chris Murray and the Cardinals. Ball handed off. Nice defensive play and a stop, but no tackle, but slowed down the runner.
But give that first defender a lot of credit for slowing him down.
That was B.J. Perkinson.
We're going to see here. Let's see who the Leuzinger defender was. I can't see real clear, but looks like that may have been Lewacki. And yes, it was, because see him coming into the play now. Lewacki wears jersey number 6. One of the few opportunities he's even had to make a play simply because they don't come his direction that often.
Okay, so BJ with a 2-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 8. Ball handed off to Cooper on a delay. And good defense by Leuzinger there. That was Adrian Galera with the stop.
Galera, and again, Lewacki also in on the play. You're going to see this where he makes the dive attempt and gets a hand on him, and that's just enough to slow him down. And one of the things as the season goes along that Coach Porter may be forced to think about as you see him, and even now it looks like they're moving Lewacki in a little bit more to the center of the line, because if he's over on the defensive end, and it's a simple read for the offense.
Right.
Go the other way.
Exactly.
He's their best defensive lineman.
He's not hard to miss.
But now they brought him back out on the end.
Now he's switching to tackle, but then they throw the wide receiver screen to B.J. Perkinson, and let's watch him run. Breaks into the open field. Inside, the missed tackle by Hunt into the end zone. B.J. Perkinson, touchdown Lawndale.
And that looks like it was a 65-yard pass. If I'm not mistaken, ball was about the 35-yard line. Okay.
68 yards.
68 yards on the pass play for Chris Murray, so he finally gets a chance to do his thing. Although it was more run than pass on that play.
You're right, 65. I'm sorry. This is from the 36, so 64.
Okay.
So Andre Hunt just missing BJ, and the kick by Reseños is good. So with 4:59 left to go in the half, it is Lawndale leading 28-0. Let's go downstairs.
Thank you, guys. Well, a special touchdown for Chris Murray on a very special night. Tonight, it's his mom's birthday, and he posted on Instagram that his mom said, if you get a touchdown for me, blow me a kiss. She's in attendance here watching somewhere. So, job accomplished. Great job by Chris Murray. Lou Rufus, back to you.
Not a bad birthday present.
No.
Responsible for 4 touchdowns. That only took 2 plays.
That touchdown was to B.J. Perkinson.
Right. Now, is that the first down play?
Huh?
That was 2nd down play, right?
Right. And guess what? That was basketball player to basketball player.
Right. So 28-0. Perkinson with his 2nd touchdown. 2nd long run. And now this ball comes short as well. Picked up by Carmichael again. And he's tackled by Emmanuel. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 30, and Leuzinger desperately needing to get something going here in the latter stages of the first half. Or they just have not been able to generate very much offensive all. They had the one good opportunity in the first quarter when Galera had a 51-yard run from scrimmage, but they weren't able to convert that. They went 4 and out on that, turned it over on downs.
So Malik Jackson, one man in the backfield, and Jackson did he drop the ball again? Did Lawndale come up with it again?
Wow.
Yes, they did. Ball was picked up by number 99.
And now even some of the
Joshua.
Leuzinger players are becoming frustrated. DeAnthony Jones, one of them. Something's happening with the center snap, and I think Coach Porter mentioned that to us in the pregame, that he had to change centers in the last game against Bishop, and actually that's what cost him the game. Let's see if we can see the replay here.
Yeah, there's Joshua right on it.
So big number 99 earns his bacon on that play.
He was on that pig. Chris Murray, will he go for it all? 1st and 10. 3rd fumble lost. He's looking for the end zone, going to the corner, has a man open, caught.
No, wow.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Caught by Jalen Walker, another basketball player. One play from the 30-yard line.
No flag on the play, but actually, Lou, there was offensive interference.
Definitely
if you ask
push.
me.
Yep.
I mean, if we see the replay again, you'll see it. And I'm here looking for the flag to come in. Flag doesn't come in, but clearly offensive interference by the Lawndale player.
Yeah, let's watch it now. Beautiful ball thrown by Murray, but
there
there's
you see
the push.
it right there.
That's what I was waiting for. Hesitated to call the touchdown. But the PAT is up and good. So with I believe that's 4:41 left to go. It's 35-0. Let's go downstairs to Sebastian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Last year was Damian Porter's first taste of this crosstown rivalry between Lawndale and Leuzinger, but he's getting another taste tonight. And then last year they lost 34-7. So far, the Cardinals have already put up 34, and they had a chance to double that in the second half. We'll see. Can they come back from this defeat? We'll see. Back to you guys.
All right, one play, 30 yards after the 3rd fumble lost.
Cut Spencer right on top of it. He's already called it. He said he wants to see if Leuzinger can come back from the defeat. Isn't that kind of an oxymoron? How do you come back from a defeat?
Well, that would be kind of like a religious thing.
Right.
So it took 10 seconds as the kickoff is kicked to Hunt. Hunt gets past the 35-yard line, and now getting a little bit of temper flare-ups as well, as Jeremiah Leilua made the tackle. There you see
and
number
Murray's
10.
last touchdown pass was to
Walker.
Okay.
To Jalen Walker. So 3 for 3 for Chris Murray by my count. Out of the eye, ball is handed off. Nice hole and a 1st down run on 1st down by Lauren Bowen. Let's go down to Karen.
Guys, an update for you on Kayam Cooksey. As you can see, he's wrapped up, iced up, and he is out for the night. Now, the trainer took a look at him, and he said, actually, the trainer did not say this. Kayam's father told me that he probably has a sprained AC joint. They're going to get a closer look at it tomorrow. Right now, at least, he doesn't seem to be in so much pain. It's just a matter of disappointment for not being able to play, but he said it is week 2, and there's a lot more football to be played this season. Back to you guys.
Bowen gets the handoff again, Karen, and it's a loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd down and 11.
And when we talk about this rivalry, we're going to see on the replay again, Handoff to Bowen for the short game. Lawndale, over the last 3 years, has dominated this rivalry, having won each game over the last 3 years.
Justin Wallace with the last tackle. A wobbly pass, and now we have probably a pass interference call, as Tariq Culpepper was the intended receiver on that wounded duck. Pass interference on Lawndale.
And that,
So
of course,
first big penalty
that'll
tonight.
give them an automatic first down, boy. And they needed some kind of spark, even if it comes off of a penalty.
So see if we have don't have the replay on that, but the ball is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. First and 10. Handoff up the middle. And good defense again by Leuzinger on Bowen, and there's some rough and tumble action afterwards. So the officials come in and break it up. Bowen, no gain.
And now we see what we didn't see earlier in the game. You see Milwaukee out there on offense. He'll be on the tight end on the far side. And he's a huge target, listed at 6'4", 240 on the right side of the line.
Lost the ball again. Bowen might have lost the ball. It's a tussle right now. Looked like a Cardinal pounced on it first. The referee is calling.
Mike Barnes is saying we're going the same way we were going. It's going to be Leuzinger's ball, 3rd down.
So Lauren Bowen fumbled it, but didn't lose it this time, as he was battling for the ball with Jeremiah Leilua. So a loss of 2 on the play. So it's 3rd down and 12.
And once again, I mean, how many times tonight has Leuzinger had trouble handling the football?
So fumble, but they didn't lose it. Back to pass is Jackson, going way downfield. Does he have a man open? And it's intercepted. Ball was thrown short, and the ball is picked off by Zach Cooper. Or nope, that's number 13, excuse me. Nathan Brown with the interception. So 4th turnover of the night, all in the first half. Jackson just heaved it. Beautiful ball downfield, but just a yard short and right into the hands of Brown.
And that comes at the 2:34 mark, another Leuzinger turnover.
Number 4 for Leuzinger, first interception of the night. And the ball is down at the 12-yard line of Lawndale. And loose in the backfield, defensive backfield, is Cooper. And he really gives the Cardinals some breathing room, getting up to be almost the 35-yard line. We're going to put it at the 35-yard line, Rufus. So a 22-yard gain for Cooper.
Wow, just a very, very good-looking running back. As a matter of fact, both of their backs are.
Well, they are certainly exuding the energy that their head coach, Travis Clark, oozed at us tonight, that's for sure. He's a walking Red Bull ad. 2:10 left to go in the half. Out of the eye, Cardinals, new look for them. And it's working. Cooper lost the ball. Tempers flaring again.
Well, as you might expect, a lot of frustration
And the ball
starting to build on this Leuzinger team as they're on the short end of a 35-0 score.
But Leuzinger picks up the ball on the fumble.
Okay, well.
So there's some good news.
And they've got 1:57 to try to convert that fumble into a scoring into a score.
So at the 44-yard line, Jackson, fake handoff, look out. He's got to run up in the pocket where it's complete to Culpepper. A nice pass, threaded the needle, because right on Culpepper's back was Hall, Desmond Hall.
But on that play, what you saw, one of the adjustments you saw the Leuzinger coaching staff make was, boy, they dropped Galera way in the backfield. You'll see him, man, line up 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And a part of that is to be a safety valve defensively in case something goes wrong.
And now Jackson, the pocket really collapsed fast, and he is a sack victim. And number 56, Deshaun Jones with the tackle. Also in on the tackle, Justin Wallace.
And of course, the line not giving Jackson much time to make decisions, and so boy, he's very rushed under there and is having to make just like very quick decisions. That's not his fault. I mean, there was absolutely nothing that he could do. He had a lineman bearing down on him, and the play hadn't even developed yet.
Now that was Wallace and Emmanuel Ayo. And I tell you what, they just pinned their ears back and came after him. Under 50 seconds left. It's 3rd down and 15, a timeout taken, I would imagine, by Leuzinger.
I would too, I must admit. I was watching the replay and missed the timeout, but I think you're probably right, and it's a 3rd and long for Leuzinger.
There's the replay again. Here comes Wallace and Ayo and E-I-E-I-O. Down goes Jackson.
Down goes Jackson.
So a 3-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd down and 15 from the 39-yard line. So Wallace with at least 2 half sacks in the last 2 plays. And spread offense, lone man in the backfield is Galera. Play action, good protection this time downfield. Jump ball, and Adrian Hunt couldn't come down with it as he was triple covered back there, Rufus. And Adrian Hunt, we saw how good he was the other night.
We did, and again, a pretty decent throw. Good job by Hunt to at least go up on the play and make it a jump ball, not only for himself, but force the defender to have to make a play as well.
So 4th and 15, they're going to go for it with 40 seconds left and change. Jackson, play action, pocket breaking down, gets rid of it, and it's caught. Dropped by Dyer. And he knows that he should have had that. And
dare I say footsteps?
Yep.
But that's not a position you want to put your receiver in, as you can see right there, man. You know, he set him up for the sandwich hit between 2 defenders there. And I can tell you, he saw those coming as he was going for the ball.
As DeAnthony Jones, excuse me, number 12, the new kid on the block. So on downs, they turn over.
And now if you're Leuzinger, you have one objective, one simple objective. That's to not let them score anymore, okay? Let's see what Lawndale decides. Lawndale looks like they're showing that they're going to take a knee.
Yep.
I'm sure Leuzinger, even with a timeout left, won't prolong it.
And they are content with just going in the locker room down by 35 points.
Well, I don't know if they're content with that.
Well,
I mean,
to go to
Lawndale's
the locker room.
content going up by 35. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt if Leuzinger's content at all, man. Especially, and here's the deal, Lou, and you're right. Hats off to this Lawndale Cardinal football team. I mean, it's been an impressive display of football here in the first half. But we've seen, and I mentioned that to Coach Porter, they've put points on the board all season. And tonight, they're simply struggling to do so.
Yeah, it's 2 touchdowns by Cooper, 2 touchdowns by B.J. Perkinson, and 1 touchdown pass by Chris Murray. It's been all Cardinals. And
2 TD passes
2
by
TD
Murray.
passes?
Yeah, the 64-yard pass that he had to Perkinson and the 30-yard pass to Walker.
okay, all right. That's right. You're right. My bad. So,
And remember, this is his mom's birthday.
oh,
You,
yeah.
you really are treading on thin ice, brother.
Well, maybe I have something special for her.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what she likes to do is get
The
her
hat
son's
track.
stats right.
That's right.
All right.
Okay, we're going to take a timeout.
So,
All right. We're going to take a timeout here and be back with the second half on City TV.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship UConn Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow a jumper. Good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Just before the start of the second half, let's go down to the field.
Thank you, guys. Well, the Lawndale Cardinals here at the half hold a comfortable 35-0 lead over the Leuzinger Olympians. And a big reason is, Karen, because of Chris Murray. He's playing great so far.
Yeah, Chris Murray really looks great. He looks comfortable. Even though he has a new coach and a new system, he looks like he's settling in and really getting a good flow so far this season.
And now the Olympians so far down 35-0 here. Sebastian, what do they need to do to get something going offensively, defensively, or special teams?
Yeah, that's right, 35-0. Coach Damian Porter said he just wants to see more intensity from his guys. A lot of guys missing their assignments, not doing what they're doing on offense. He says we're not going to beat this team by scoring points and trying to get back and go back and forth. He said they're going to win this game by defense.
Well, a very high-scoring team, the Leuzinger Olympians, shut out so far here through 2 quarters of football. We'll see if they can get on the scoreboard in the third and fourth quarter. Lou, Rufus, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Karen, to Gideon, Sebastian. And just before the half, let's go over some stats for you for the visiting Leuzinger Olympians. Adrian Galera, leading rusher, 8 carries, 81 yards. Lauren Bowen, 5 carries, net -3. Passing, Malik Jackson in his first start for the Olympians as we see the Cardinals come onto the field. Jackson 6 out of 12 for 35 yards and 1 interception. 3 fumbles lost besides the interception by the Cardinals that went for 3 scores. And now for the Cardinals, the big rusher, Zach Cooper, 14 carries, 104 yards, and 2 touchdowns. B.J. Perkinson, just 4 carries, but 120 yards.
wow.
And 2 touchdowns. He had the big 56 and 61-yard runs. Go Cardinals. And Chris Murray, 3 carries and 14 yards. And passing, Murray, 3 out of 3, 71 yards and 1 touchdown. 1 fumble lost by the Cardinals. So Chris Murray and Malik Jackson, also the 2 running backs, Galera and Cooper. B.J. Perkinson says, hey, fellas, don't forget about me. And, well, both coaches talked about it. Got to limit the mistakes. And the mistakes by Leuzinger have really given the Cardinals a lift
Oh, they
here in the
absolutely
nest.
have. I mean, right off the top, at the beginning of the game, the first turnover led to a score. And that was actually on an offensive play where Jackson completed the pass, and the receiver on the hit fumbled the ball. And now, guess what? Lawndale gets the ball to start the second half. So Leuzinger immediately coming out the locker room has to get their defensive face on, get their intensity level sky high, just in order to hold fort right here on this first set of downs.
Well, this is the first time we've seen Adrian Acosta kick the ball for the Olympians. It's been all Cardinals on the scoring. And they're in the starting blocks, and here we go. Nice high end-over-end kick by Acosta, and it bounces to B.J. Perkinson at about the 10-yard line, and a nice tackle, open field tackle. That's by Adrian Galera. So 1st and 10 for them, and where does Chaco Wade mark it? At the 17?
And Adrian is one of those guys who will be the first to tell you, not big in size, but huge in heart. And again, you're seeing him play both sides of the ball. Great open field tackle there against a very, very good return man in terms of Perkinson. And Galera makes the play, the critical play, actually, quite frankly, that they needed there.
Absolutely, to keep them back beyond the 30-yard line on a beautiful Friday night.
In fact, they'll set up this set of downs at about the 19-yard line.
Here comes Cooper again, and he's off to the races. Coming up towards midfield, gets out of a tackle into Leuzinger territory, and finally is knocked out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. We're going to call it the 37. Finally knocked out by Carmichael.
That was from the 19.
45 yards, going to call it for Cooper. So 1st and 10. Out of the eye. BJ bounces to the outside towards the left, and a nice tackle, an aggressive tackle there by the Olympians. Was that Adrian Hunt?
That was Andre Hunt, but is
Andre.
What they've got here, Andre Hunt on the tackle. Where's
right.
jersey number 9?
Haven't called his name too much tonight. So back to the 39-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 12 after the 2-yard loss. Good to see a lot of familiar faces here at the Nest tonight, too.
Absolutely, including members of the coaching staff, and now you've got a big 2nd down play coming up for the Lawndale Cardinals.
Play fake, ball handed up the middle to Cooper. There he goes, off to the races. One man to beat, gets by him, and towards the end zone. Did he get in? Yes.
Wow.
Touchdown, Lawndale. A 39-yard run on the play fake. Zach Cooper with the hat trick.
So, a big, big night for Zach Cooper tonight. That one comes at the 10:30 mark. And because it's a 40-point lead, Mike Barnes is saying let the clock run.
Rosinos. There you see Zach Cooper. It's much to the delight of the Cardinal Spirit Squad. Rosinos is perfect in PATs. 42-0 at the 10. What was that, the 10:30 mark?
Well, I put it at 10:30 because now you've got a running clock.
So that was a minute and a half. We'll call it.
And Cooper with the big run.
3 plays. Well, it was Cooper with the big 39-yard run, and then it was, well, actually Cooper with a 45-yard run before that.
So you're saying Cooper picked up 85 on that drive?
Yeah. Yep. The BJ had -2. That's right, yeah. 3 plays. And it was all Zach Cooper. Hunt gets the ball, trying to find some room down the far sideline, and that's why you kick it away from him, because he's at midfield. Andre Hunt. And a nice tackle by Emmanuel Ayo. Check that, that's number 63. Now, let's watch Andre go. And then he ran into a wall. That's Anderson Rosinos, the kicker.
The last line of defense.
Well, that, my friends, is the last wall of defense. At the 47-yard line, 48-yard line, we'll call it. Jackson hands the ball off to Galera. Galera breaks free into the defensive backfield. And a nice run. Could be a first down, it is. Down to the 36-yard line. So Galera with a 12-yard run.
And that Lawndale crowd looking for anything to cheer about. And here's Galera again. This time they stack him up actually for about a 1.5 yard loss.
Yeah, we'll call it a 2-yard loss back to the 38.
And what they've tried to do is to simplify the playbook for Jackson, given the difficulties, not so much that he was having, but they were just having difficulties all along the offensive line, Lou. First of all, with the center quarterback exchange, that was problematic. They had 3 fumbles, as you mentioned there, and now he looks back to pass with an opportunity. He's got a man there. Touchdown!
That is Andre Hunt.
No flags on the play.
Beautiful ball. Beautiful catch.
So Leuzinger gets on the board with a 30-some yard touchdown pass by Malik Jackson to Andre Hunt. 37 yard, if we look at the board, says it was on the 37-yard line. And that's at the 8:55 mark, I do believe.
Acosta coming on to tack on the extra point. Right down the middle. So the clock is moving again. 8:50, did you say?
Yep.
So Jackson with his first touchdown pass of the year. 38 yards or 37?
37. I'm based on what they've got on the board.
Okay. Yeah, you know, a coach is running that thing.
But at least Leuzinger gets on the board, albeit they were staring at a 42-point deficit, but now it's a 42-7 score.
4-play drive that covered 42 yards.
And now the question, of course, is would they even dare think of an onside kick?
Why not?
Why not?
Clock rolling. And Acosta getting ready to kick it off.
Well, there's certainly a hole here on this side that they could hit, but instead they kick it away.
Well, they need work on that side of the ball as Cooper has the ball on a bounce coming around the far sideline. Cooper towards midfield. Cooper's looks like he's going to go all the way. Still has some blockers with him.
Stepped out.
And forced out of bounds on the far sideline.
At the 25-yard line.
By the kicker, Adrian Acosta.
And there's a flag up here, and it's all coming back according to the referee, Michael Barnes. So if you're Leuzinger, you're like, man, wow, what a break. And if you're Lawndale, it's like, boy, we thought we had him set up for another one.
Yep. So all the way back inside the 40-yard line, and they're going to take it back a little further as we're watching the replay.
And of course, that occurred over on the far side of the field from us. but it takes them back to the 30-yard line. It's what it does, and it gives that Leuzinger defense new life, because otherwise they were looking at a very short field up on this end at the 25-yard line.
All right. The fans are wondering where the ball is too. We've got a new quarterback in now. Number 15. That's Jalen Hamler. So Hamler hands the ball off with a 4-yard gain.
Right. And the point, Lou, here is that this is merely this is acknowledging that, boy, we've got a running clock, we got a 35-point lead, and it's a long season, as you noted earlier. Let's let somebody else and your other quarterback get some experience, because you never, ever know. I don't think Murray's hurt at all, as a matter of fact.
No.
Unless, as you said earlier, he tripped over a line. I can't imagine.
Ball comes loose. Ball wasn't whistled dead. Let's see who comes with it. It's squirted out like a bar of soap. And now we have a penalty flag flying up. So it could be an unsportsmanlike down there.
We'll have to see.
Looks like Lawndale came up with it.
Well, let's see who the flag's against, because this is going to be a big, big flag, Lou. You know, I saw an Olympian extend his arm in a feisty motion, shall we say. But we'll see what the referee says. Okay. Well, went against Lawndale instead.
Now the running back is Nathan Brown, the new running back.
So here's the replay. We're looking to see, okay.
The ball squirted out. Number 63 recovered it. Recenos.
Right. But I think here, if we look here, here's where you're going to see it at. No, I thought it was right there where Galera was in the scrum.
Play action. Oh, it's handed off to Brown on the 2nd and 15. And Brown gets 10 yards on that one. Give him 9. So it's 2nd down, or 3rd down we're going to call it. And 6. Coming down to 2:50 clock running left in the 3rd quarter, with the clock running because of the score. Ball handed off again to Brown, and he's met immediately by Perez and Carmichael.
Very short gain's going to make it a, well, they moved.
Gave him a yard. Maybe 2.
Okay, and they indicate that actually it's going to be a 4th and 5. So going to take it that Lawndale will punt away. And Leuzinger.
Was this their 2nd punt of the night? I believe so. Culpepper back at about his 35-yard line. Chris Murray in to punt the ball away. Quick punt. Nice bounce, and now Culpepper lets it go, but then he picks it up and slips down at about the 27-yard line.
Okay.
Picked up some positive yards there, not trying to make a play. Whoop, just kind of gave way on him.
Now's the time you start thinking about what's coming next on CityTV Sports.
Yeah, what's coming up?
There you have it.
Just our executive producer, Tom Strickfadden, tells us, whispering in our ear as he usually does. Very calm and soothing sense all game long, as Adrian Galera, not a calm sense, really busts it up to about the 44-yard line for a 1st down.
And Leuzinger
18
right
yards.
now making hay against some of the subs for Lawndale.
So we have a bye week next week on City TV, and then the Mayor's Cup between Leuzinger and Hawthorne, and that is that at Olympian Field or at Hal Cap? At Lou House. Jackson back to pass. Comes up in the pocket. Look out as Joshua eats him up. Dion Joshua with his first sack. Let's watch Dion come in the picture there, fighting off Perez.
Yeah.
Says, "You're not going anywhere, little fella. Welcome to the hood."
Welcome to it.
Third quarter comes to an end with the score 42-7 in favor of the Cardinals. And they're looking real good. But you gotta wonder, those 3 lost fumbles by the Olympians, could that have kept the Cardinals from anything less?
Well,
Or would it have been
it
closer?
potentially could have kept it more respectable. But I think what we've clearly seen, giving credit where credit is due, right now this Lawndale team is simply a better team than Leuzinger is tonight.
Right.
I mean, I don't think there's any two ways about that. I don't think even Coach Porter would disagree with you on that fact. I mean, you look at the running attack that we've seen tonight with Perkinson, with Cooper, the passes that Murray, and we know they could have just let Murray throw the ball and
Sure.
still had the same effect.
Right.
So, in league play, that's where folks need to be getting concerned. As Lawndale gets ready to go through the Ocean League, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Fourth quarter getting underway. Leuzinger going left to right now. Wide receiver screen to Culpepper, picked up by Cooper, and that's going to be a loss of at least 4 yards. Could be 5. Let's find out where they spot it. At the 43-yard line.
So you got a flare pass that goes in the wrong direction. At some point, you got to turn your shoulders and you got to turn and throw the ball up the field.
So it's 3rd and 14 for Leuzinger. Have to get inside of Lawndale territory to the 45-yard line. Jackson has a man open on the near side, but good defense by Lawndale.
Good D short pickup. Ball took a long time to get there, and the time and by that what I mean is that the play took a while to develop, and in the process that allowed the defense to recover and be there to make the quick hit.
B.J. Perkinson made the tackle after Malcolm Jackson caught it. Are Malik and Malcolm twins?
Could be.
We'll have to find out. They're both sophomores. Both first names with an M. And a nice run up by Jackson. And a nice bounce. Better go after it, Bowen.
You got to get there. You got to stop it now.
Did he let it go?
Watch
He
it go
sure
into the
did.
end zone?
Oh, no. He sure did.
Okay, well, that was a mental mistake on the little train.
Yep. Lionel Smith, not Bowen, pardon me. He had to catch up with it.
Well, he's
He
up
was there,
with it
right
now.
there, right
now
there.
He's watching it.
Oh, see, eyes were on it all the way into the end zone.
Lost his
And then,
position on the
then one
field.
of his teammates says, "Oh my goodness, we could have had it right there." But it's a 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
And those are the kind of mistakes that every coach talks about. This is what I don't want my team doing, making these type of mental mistakes. Boy, you got a chance to down them inside the 5, maybe
Inside
at
the
the
1.
1. And instead, because you're not alert, not aware of where you are on the field, you instead down it in the end zone. And they go, hey, thanks very much. We appreciate that.
It's just been one of those nights for
Now there's a
Leuzinger.
fumble. recovered, though, by Lawndale.
So a night when not much has gone right for Leuzinger. A 1-yard loss.
As you mentioned, Chris Murray being done for the night. Jalen Hamler and getting some valuable experience. I think it was Yogi that once said experience. You can't get it till you got it.
That's it. No truer words said. Out of the eye. Hamler hands the ball off, but in the backfield right away. That's
DeAnthony Jones.
the new kid. Watch how quick Jones gets in there. He gets through 2 blockers and gets BJ. And that's a huge loss. We're going to call that an 8-yard loss. So all the way back to the 11-yard line.
Yep. You got to get the ball out to the 30, so it's a 3rd and 19.
Perkinson is the halfback, dotting the I, and he'll get the ball. And there goes BJ, and runs over an Olympian, and it may have gotten the first down after Andre Hunt made the tackle.
It sure, yep. Well, that's what
ran over
referee
Malcolm
said.
Jackson.
As you see on the replay here, and this is what I'm talking about, fans. You got to turn upfield and just go. You know, the side-to-side, east-to-west running gains you a net of nothing. You turn up, you go, he sees the hole. Another good run by Perkinson tonight.
19-yard gain. Gets it up to the 31 and a first down. Brown is the halfback now, and he'll get the ball, but runs into 3 Olympians, including Jones. Let's go down to Egidio.
Thanks, guys. Well, an injury update on number 52, Terrell Williams. I was listening in on the trainer as they were checking out his knee. He got stepped on in a play earlier there. He said his knee was fine. They were feeling around. There's a little bit of bruising on the back of the knee, but everything seemed fine. The meniscus seemed fine. The ACL seemed fine. It didn't seem like there was a sprain or anything serious. He is up and moving now, and the trainer said it was up to him if he wants to be back on. He put his helmet on, and he's walking around the sidelines. He should be back in this ball game, even though they really don't need him. It's 42-7. Lou, Rufus, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. Hamler, still the quarterback. Brown is the halfback for Lawndale. Pass is blocked, but still caught by Lawndale on the far sideline. And that was caught by DeJuan Ballard.
As you'll see on the replay here again, Hamler at quarterback drops back, looks right, and you and I both thought it was tapped, and maybe it was batted away, but completed nonetheless.
All that for 4 yards, but they'll take it. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Draw play to Brown, and he runs into a white wall, led by Lewacki.
Brings up the 4th down play.
A loss
does
of
it?
1.
My bad, 3rd down. Well, actually,
Should
no,
be
it is
4th.
4th.
I don't know if that part of the scoreboard's working now or not. There's Mr. Brown. So Chris Murray punting the ball away to Tariq Culpepper at about his own 36-yard line. Kicks the ball and takes a Lawndale bounce, or Leuzinger bounce, that is down at that point. around the 30-yard line. So with
Clock running.
was that 9?
No, that's
4?
not 9. That much I know. That's
I have no
that's
idea.
a 4.
Okay.
That's a that's
4
a 4
minutes. Under 4 minutes left to go at the 30-yard line.
When Lawndale went up 42-0, just for you fans wondering why is the clock run again, CIF rule, that 40-point lead starts a running clock, and it does not stop even if the lead goes under 40 until the game is over, as is obvious. And right now we got 3:35 clock running.
Look out. Culpepper on the wide receiver screen on the flea flicker, actually, and it's caught.
And now it's a foot race.
And going towards the end zone, touchdown for Leuzinger. That's Andre Hunt with his second catch. This is from Culpepper. Was that the old hook and ladder or
that
flea
was the
flicker?
old hook and ladder, and boy, that one went. That was one play, 70 yards.
Yep. So we're going to call that 30 or the 3 minutes, I guess.
Yep. All right.
Culpepper almost was wrapped up by B.J. Perkinson. Had to get out of that, slipped through another tackle. And watch this. Hunt was wide open. He's somewhere. There he is. Acosta to tack on the extra point. Out of Bowen's hold. And it's 42-14.
Show a little window dressing.
Well, hey, you have to do something there, even if it was a little specialty play on the flea flicker. So it's Culpepper to Hunt. That's his second touchdown catch of the night. 30 yards, right?
30. Well, that play, that one was a 70
But it's
yard.
70 yards, excuse
70
me.
yard
You're
play.
right. From the 30-yard line. There's Andre.
Showing good speed, by the way. I mean, there was one guy in pursuit for Lawndale.
So you had to wonder what was going on because Culpepper was so far back when Jackson caught the ball. As Acosta getting set to kick things off. And the clock is running down to about 1:20.
Well,
so one play, 70 yards. We're going to call it a minute.
Neither coach opting to take a timeout, even though there was mass confusion on the field in terms of which direction we were going. Now we see some kids on the sideline. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it very clearly right now. You know, sidelines on a football field is no place for small kids to be. I mean, these guys have, even at the high school level, they've got on pads, jerseys. They're moving around at a high rate of speed. A child simply has no ability to avoid a potential hit by a player who's coming this way right now. This is exactly the point I was making.
Cooper is caught from behind by Lowacki and planted at the 34-yard line. I remember the play, the 2002 World Series, the Giants and the Angels, and Bobby Bond's son was saved by J.T. Snow on a play at the plate.
And I'm going to say this to our good friends at Lawndale High School. I would encourage you, if you're seeing and you see this, to take corrective measures and get these children off the sideline. That's a disaster waiting to happen.
I couldn't agree with you more. And that is going to be the ball game on that point. 42-14 is the final score. And Lawndale High School retains the City of Lawndale Championship trophy. And we're going to have to rally around the memory of Coach or Mayor Harold Hoffman and see if we can't get this the Hoffman Cup.
All right. But for now, what about if we call it the Segway Series? because you can take a segue from one school to another.
That's true.
But you're right. In terms of what they be playing for, something that would instill some pride, and you definitely need something between these two schools, which I hope that this will continue to be. They've actually only played, this is the 4th year that they've played.
Right.
Because I went back and looked at the records, and let us hope that it becomes an annual event.
It sure is fun. Everybody came out, had a good time. The huge crowd by Lawndale. I mean, they had the taco trucks and everything else going on out there. Good to see our old friends. And I'll tell you what, Rufus, got some basketball players here with us tonight.
Absolutely.
Good to see them, and all the coaches too.
It was, and I'm sure they're happy with the performance here, and are thinking about, I mean, they saw 2 of their players, Perkinson and Murray, really have a big night tonight.
Jalen Walker didn't do too bad either. He had a touchdown as well. So we're going to get some guests, that's for sure. And we have some numbers to count up as well, as there are lots of things going on in the second half. Culpepper to Hunt and Jackson to Hunt. So both quarterbacks, well, actually Jackson had his first touchdown pass. Culpepper had another one. And but Andre Hunt making himself known again tonight.
And there's, well, he made himself known, and you know, it's kind of a coming out party here for him on CityTV. Again, still a work in progress. Leuzinger tonight, boy, again against some quality opponents, they put the points on the board. That just shows you how good this Lawndale team is that held them to 14 points tonight. Because against a 3-0 Bishop team last week, they put up 28 points and had the game within hand. So tough night for the Olympians, but a big night for the Lawndale Cardinals. 3
fumbles lost. That was the big story in the first half for the Olympians, and the Lawndale Cardinals scored off of those turnovers. So 21 points. You just can't give that stuff away.
You cannot, you know, and we noticed that happened in the first quarter, and it continued throughout the game, and Lawndale capitalized. And again, you know, we said this before, we saw South last week, and we were very impressed with the South team, and to look back and the fact that 3 weeks ago, Lawndale lost to that team, and their coaching staff and their players to a man felt, hey, we're better than those guys. That's scary.
Right.
As I said, for the Ocean League, if Lawndale is this good. I got to say, I mean, the reality is that this is the best-looking Lawndale team that I've seen in a long time.
Probably the best coach team that I've seen. I mean, the talent has been there, that's for sure. We've seen a lot of good players come through. But as far as focus and coaching, this team has really bought in to Travis Clark's program. And a new eye system that's been brought in here to the Nest.
Absolutely. But you're right. But it doesn't hurt to have a Chris Murray, a veteran quarterback.
True. And B.J. Perkinson and Zach Cooper.
And Zach Cooper. It doesn't hurt to have those 3 guys.
Or Deion Joshua as your nose tackle.
Exactly. I mean, that's like the old, dare I say, and I hate to say it, but I will, and I know Jose Bravo is listening, that's like the triplets of the old Dallas Cowboys. You know, when you had Aikman and Emmitt Smith. And Irvin, and Michael Irvin.
That's right, yeah.
You had all your offensive bases covered. That's
true.
what this team has. They've got all their offensive bases covered, man.
Yeah, Jalen Walker, one of the receivers, so there's your 3rd guy. So actually 4 guys, hey, we got a whole bunch of guys out there. So while we're waiting on some post-game interviews, why don't we take a timeout so we can also add up some numbers for you.
All right.
And we'll be back right after this. Oh, we also have to figure out who our player of the game is, and more importantly, the tip of the hat.
And that's going to be tough tonight.
Sure is. All right. Let's see, are we going to get ready now for some interviews? Truck? Tom?
Nope.
Not yet. Maybe? Kinda? Trying to get something going here. Looks like Egidio DeLeu is getting ready with a player downstairs. But yeah, Zach Cooper definitely in the running for player of the game. And also B.J. Perkinson. Chris Murray handed the ball off. And
but when he threw it exceptionally well.
He sure did. With 1 touchdown pass tonight. Yeah, when he did throw it, he did very well tonight. Let's go down to Egidio.
Thank you guys. Here with Zach Cooper, an impressive game, 3 touchdowns. How'd that feel out there?
It felt great. felt great to get a win against losing a rivalry.
And this is your senior year now. Two-game winning streak so far. You guys, big win over Crespi last week and a big win over rival Leuzinger. How do you guys keep this momentum again next week against Peninsula?
We just got to work hard in practice, minimums and mistakes, and can't give up cheap plays. Like can't give up deep balls, you know.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the win. Thank you. Lou, Rufus, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Egidio. And while we wait for some more post-game interviews, do we have any coming up, Tom? Okay, well, Zach, let's go downstairs again.
Thanks a lot, guys. Here with Chris Murray. Chris, big win for you guys tonight. How do you feel about the win?
I feel accomplished, but, you know, it is one game at a time, so after film tomorrow, we got to put this one behind and go into next week.
Definitely. You guys off to a 2-1 start, looking very good so far in league play. How do you feel about your teammates and the way you guys are playing so far?
I mean, we can always get better, but so far I like the way we play as a team, and everyone just going hard and leaving everything on the field tonight.
And I know you're one of the most vocal leaders out there for your team, being the player that you are out there. What are some of the goals that you have for this season?
I mean, of course, we always want to get that ring on the finger, but we just have to take it one step at a time, and one practice at a time, one play, and one game at a time.
Good game, man.
All right, thank you.
There you guys go. Chris Murray, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Zach Cooper ended up with just 2 carries in the second half, but they were 84 yards worth.
All right.
So he had 16 carries, 188 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And in the running for either player of the game or tip of the hat.
Right here.
Well, you're exactly right, and we'll get all that sorted out in just a moment. But again, what can we say? Big night for the Lawndale Cardinals.
Karen Bright has a guest downstairs.
Coach, congrats on the big home win tonight. I heard you talking to the guys, and you're happy with the win, but you're focused on a bigger picture. What is that picture?
You know, I want these kids to win a league championship or even possibly a CIF title. And, you know, we can't end games like that if that's what we're trying to do. So I just want to make sure I remind them that we got to finish the game stronger than that.
That being said, you guys put up 42 points, an incredible first half showing. How do you feel about the performance in the first half?
I think it was great. I think it was just like our game plan. We had a good week of practice. The kids executed. I think our offensive line was incredible tonight. They're getting better every week. And that's what we talked about. We preached about being physical and trying to control the game on the ground, and that's exactly what they did.
And you're not a first-year coach, but a first-year coach with this team, what are you looking for? What's the number one thing you're focused on moving forward?
I just want these kids to continue to improve every week. You know, if we improve every day, I think that we're going to be okay. I think that, you know, obviously I'm preaching them to win the Ocean League. It's something that I want them to keep on the front of their brains, but I just want them to continue to get better. I was a little upset the way we ended, but the great thing about that is you can teach the kids from that. So, you know, we got the win, and we also got a teaching point.
Well, congratulations. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Karen. And we'll be back right after this with our player of the game and tip of the hat and some numbers.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship Yukon Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper. Good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
All right, back here at the Nest on the campus of Lawndale High School. The Lawndale City Championship won by Lawndale High School 42-14 over Leuzinger. And now it's time for everybody's favorite, the player of the game and the tip of the hat. We have a special presentation tonight because it is both teams, there are teams.
Yeah, it's a local town team.
That's
town
right.
game.
Okay, so there we go. A little bit of light.
All right.
Little shine on my head there. So, who is our player of the game?
Well, the player of the game Obviously from Lawndale High is none other than Cooper. Cooper had 3 touchdowns on the night, and I'm sure his folks want us to get his first and last name.
Well, Zach Cooper.
Zach Cooper with 166 yards on the ground.
188 yards and 16 carries.
Wow.
And 3 touchdowns.
And 3 TDs.
He only had 2 carries in the second half, but those were 88 yards worth.
And that was on one drive, by the way.
Uh-huh.
45 and 39 or 45 and 43, something like that. But anyway, just a huge contributor tonight, and definitely worthy of being recognized and honored as the player of the game.
Okay, and the tip of the hat, we have 2 of them. Since I have the Lawndale hat, the Lawndale tip of the hat winner is
none
B.J.
other than
Perkinson.
B.J. Perkinson. And remember that name, folks, because that's the name you're going to hear again come December, January, and February, all right, as we head into basketball season. But that's a long way off. Perkinson tonight, hey, he took him to the hoop on the court,
sure
on the
did.
football field.
He was running the floor, running the grass, that's for sure. He had 7 carries, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, B.J., here you go. Tip of the hat to you for Lawndale. And for Leuzinger tonight?
And for Leuzinger, it was number 4, the senior, one of the leaders of the team, and he definitely did that with his inspired play, in spite of the fact that they were playing uphill all night. Ripped off a big 51-yard run that put them in scoring position. They didn't take advantage of it, and they finally figured it out as the game went along and understood we need to keep giving him the ball. And that was none other than Adrian Galera. And we give it to him on his spirit and on his effort and the fact that he emotionally kept his team in the game. So, Adrian, here you are, your Tip of the Hat Award winner for the Leuzinger Olympians tonight.
11 carries, 109 yards, no touchdowns, though. And also Adrian Hunt, the other Adrian. Andre, excuse me. I keep calling one. By the end of the season, I'll get the name right, Andre. He had 3 receptions, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he got it done, and he's one of the better athletes on this team as well. So that's going to wrap it up here from the Nest for Rufus Washington, Karen Bright, Sebastian Spencer, and Egidio DeLeo, and Tom Strickfadden, and the crazy crew of CityTV Sports, the 3-time Star Award-winning crew. I'm Lou Stowers, telling you once again the final score from the Nest. The Lawndale City Championship won by Lawndale High School, 42-14 over Leuzinger. Until next time, so long.